Hi guys, welcome to a short info session for the NYSC Impact Challenge. I'm not here alone, I'm here with my colleague Omalade. Of course, she'll be introducing herself. And today we're just going to be having a bit of chit chat about frequently asked questions that we've had from people over the course of time for this particular NYSC Impact Challenge. Hi Omalade.
Hi Malaya.
Welcome. How excited are you to be here?
Super excited.
Are you ready for today's conversation?
Yep.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions here, and I'm going to be asking Omalade here. But before I go ahead into asking the question, I want Omalade to give us a brief about what NaijaSolve stands for and how it relates with the NYSC Impact Challenge.
All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Omalade, and I'm the project manager at NaijaSolve. So, just a brief introduction of what NaijaSolve is. NaijaSolve is a platform, you can call it a non-profit organization, with a goal of being the GoFundMe for community development. We encourage young people, we encourage youth in their communities to solve problems in their communities by themselves. We provide the resources, the structure, the mentoring that they need to be able to solve problems in their communities. And then as this relates to the NYSC Impact Challenge, we're like, okay, we have a set of youth that do some sort of a community development service. And if there's one thing that is a major problem with regards to that is funding, right? So how about we do something for them that encourages them to solve some problems in their community while also rewarding them for it.
All right, thank you so much. That was very detailed, Omalade. So straight into the questions. You've spoken to us, we've listened, and now we are here to answer your question. And of course, even during the course of this conversation, maybe you're watching it online and you also still have more questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. We'll answer all of it. So into the first question, Omalade. You spoke about people identifying real problems and giving real solutions to it, and the NaijaSolve is here to back them up, basically. But an average NYSC member, we all know how much they earn, right? That's definitely not sufficient to fund any project. What does funding look like? Do they need their money to participate in this project?
Okay, so no, you do not necessarily need your money to participate in this project, right? NaijaSolve is supposed to fund it. However, there's a 20% co-contribution that is required, and basically this is just to encourage co-ownership of projects. And for you as a core member, your contribution is 10% out of this 20% in kind, and then the community contributes 10% as well, either in kind or in cash. If it is in kind, you can quantify this to be a cash amount. So for example, if your total project is ₦1,000,000, there's a 20% contribution that is from the CSM as well as the community. So no, you do not necessarily need your money for it. NaijaSolve provides that. We just need you to contribute in cash or in kind. 10% from you, the core member, 10% from the community as well.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you all heard that. You don't necessarily need your money. So if you're thinking that, oh, I want to help renovate this school in my community, and I don't have up to 2 million naira to fund the project, and that's always here for you. So far, you follow the 80-10-10 model. 80% from NaijaSolve, 10% from you as community solutions manager, and 10% from your community. Then the rest is solved. So to the second question, I know that we said it's NYSC Impact Challenge, right? And there are other people out there that they are not necessarily core members, or maybe core members that have been passed out, they've done their POP, and they're still interested. Is this strictly for currently serving core members, or people that have served before can still join, or even people that have never served before in their life can also still join?
Okay, the name is NYSC Impact Challenge, which means this is currently for serving core members, right? If you've served before and you see that maybe you are still in the community where you served or something and you want to do something, there's an application form that is for that. That is not attached to this challenge. This is strictly for currently serving core member, as well as core members that are not passing out in the next 6 to 8 weeks where they're supposed to be implementing their projects.
All right, thank you so much. I hope that is clear, straight and clear. Currently serving core members. Another question I have here is, can I participate if I don't have prior project experience?
Oh, sure. Yes, you can participate. In fact, we're not looking for people with project experience. That was a joke. But yes, you can participate if you don't have prior project experience. One of the things that we do is that we give like a crash course at the beginning before you start your project implementation on project management, just something to help you to be able to implement your project. And then you're working with the project manager, me, to guide you and also help you along the way. So this is part of the support that you need. You don't need to have project management experience. You would get the necessary support that you need along the line.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So another question is, how long will this project take? And while I am working on the project, I'm speaking on behalf of people that want to register now. Can I work with other people on it, or am I on my own? Do I have to do it alone?
Okay, so this is supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, 6 to 8 weeks after the application ends, right? You're supposed to be able to implement your project within 6 to 8 weeks. In a situation where you cannot complete the project after 8 weeks, you can still finish your project. However, you will not qualify for the challenge, right? And then, in with respect to working with other people, yes, you can't. We really can't do it alone, right? You need the community. You need whatever location that. If it is a school, if it is a hospital, you need people support. You can work with your friends, right? So yes, you do need people to implement your project. However, we count it as an individual. So give, for example, BC and friends, right? BC applied. BC can work with her friends. She probably needs physical, emotional, manual support from them, right? So she can go ahead to work with your friends. However, the only person that we are counting and that qualifies for this challenge is BC.
That is duly noted. I hope you understand that too. So another question I have here is, can I submit multiple project ideas? I mean, we've been talking about bring your project, help the community. What if I have more than one problem or project idea that I want to submit? Can I submit multiple?
No.
Oh,
No, one project, one person. If you have multiple projects that you want to do, I mean, you're a very kind-hearted person, you're great, you're good. Yes, you can go ahead and submit using the other applications that we have. You can still get funding for that. But with regards to the Impact Challenge, one project, one core member.
all right, thank you so much. This brings me to my next question. We've been talking about the project. We said, oh, there's a funding structure from NaijaSolve. So how does this work? When is funding provided? Is it at the beginning? Is it at the end? Is it in between? Walk us through it.
Okay, so I'm just going to walk us through the application process, right? You submit your application using the application forms. We review it. If you qualify, we send you an email for a brief chat, sort of. If you don't, I mean, you get a rejection email. Once that is done, we validate on our end. We send somebody to confirm, to go there, somebody you don't know, of course. We send somebody to go there to confirm that one, your location exists, that particular place exists, and that what you said you want to solve also actually exists. And then the person advises on if you can go ahead to fund your project. So once that is that, you sign a contract and all of that. Your funding is given at the point of your implementation, and it is also not given at once. So give, for example, your project is 1 million naira, and in this your project you want to fix the roof of a particular school, paint the walls, get chairs for them. So we encourage you to break down your project into 3 phases, right? The first phase can be you fix the roof first. We give you money for that particular phase. Before the funding for maybe the painting is given to you, we need to see evidence that you actually fixed the roof with your receipt, your pictures, your videos, and all of that. Once we see that, we confirm that, we give you funding for the second one, and then we repeat that process all over. So funding is not given to you at once. We're not giving you the entire 1 million. We break it down for you with evidence, with pictures, with videos to confirm that you actually did carry out your project.
Wow, wow, wow. That was very detailed. Thank you so much, Omalade. So, in simple terms, funding is released based on milestones, so you get support as you progress. So, this brings me to my second to the last question, actually. So, take for instance, I want to register, but I don't want to keep this to myself. I want to share with as many people as possible. Do I get rewarded for telling people?
Oh yes, we have an ambassador program for this NYSC Impact Challenge. If you're a core member, or even if you're not a core member, but you have access to core members, and you want to share the news to everybody, yes, there is. And at the point where you register to be an ambassador, there's a referral code that will be given to you, and wherever you're referring has to put in this code for you to be able to get your reward. So yes, there's an ambassador program for this. that allows you to be rewarded for referring people to the challenge.
You guys can see that it's getting more interesting. It's not only that you get to participate, you also get rewarded if you tell more people. So if I were you, I would start telling more people now. So back to my last question now. I'd like to ask is what should we call this? Should we call it a competition or a program? What exactly is it? I'm talking about the NYSC Impact Challenge.
It's a combination of both. It's a competition as much as it is a program, right? It's a competition in the sense that we are rewarding you for solving problems in your community, and it is a program in the sense that we're encouraging you to solve a problem in your community, right? And also, one thing I also want to mention is that if you do not qualify for the challenge, or maybe you were not selected as the winner or any of the runner-ups, that doesn't make your project less impactful. That doesn't invalidate your support or what you've done. So it's a combination of a project, a program rather, as well as a competition.
Thank you so much. I picked up a point from there. If your project wasn't or isn't selected, better put, it does not invalidate it. It does not mean that it is less impactful. The most important takeaway from here is you impact people, you be a solution to people's problem. So this is going to bring us to the end of this segment. Maybe we would come your way next time if we get more questions, of course. So that means we'll be looking forward to your questions in the comment section. And don't forget that this application has an end date. What's the end date already?
March 16th.
You heard that, March 16, 2026. So you don't want to stall, you don't want to wait, you want to start applying today. Invite your network, invite your friends, get rewarded. Let's all create impact together. Till next time when we come your way, I remain with Abrahams, and with me here is
Omoladila Bigbo.